Xin chào cô.
Good evening. How are you today? Too bright. I think I'm too bright. Change my seat a little bit. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. How are you today?
I'm fine.
Okay. Now let me share my screen first and talk about our topic today.
Okay.
Okay. Here. Okay. So we are moving on to the grammar part. That there is, there are, and some, and any. And we did learn about there is, there are, and some, and any. And we also did some exercise related to this kind of grammar. And today we will move on to learn how much, how many, much, many, a lot of, a few, and a little. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. But first, let me ask you some questions that related to the last content. Do you know which how can we use some and any in which situation, in which content?
We use some in affirmative sentence, and we use any in negative question.
Yes, we use some in affirmative sentences, and we use any in negative and question sentences. Okay, anything else?
We don't use some or any with singular countable nouns. We use are and.
Yes, good. And here we also use some and any with plural countable nouns and uncountable nouns. So, and this is kind of some ways to utilize some and any in exercise. And here's some and any quite easy, I think. Okay, now let's talk about there is and there are. There's quite a lot of things about there is and there are. But in general, there is and there are, to talk about the singular countable nouns. And we have there is for the singular and there are for the plural nouns. But that is in general. And in particular sentences, we have a lot of things to remember, and we just do the exercise, and we can gradually understand, comprehend the whole part of there is and there are. Okay, now we will move on to learn how much, how many, much, many, a lot of. And then we're gonna learn about a little and a few. Okay, now first let's talk about how many. How many, we use how many with the plural countable nouns. And how many and how much is the question, yeah? Is the question word. So we use how many with plural countable nouns. For example, how many eggs are there in your fridge? So eggs are the plural countable nouns. Okay? We say many eggs, many tomatoes, many potatoes, many chairs, many papers. That sort of things are the plural countable nouns. Here, okay. And we use how much with uncountable nouns. For example, how much coffee do you need? How much sugar have we got? Because sugar tea and coffee are the uncountable nouns. So we use how much with the uncountable nouns. Okay?
Okay.
So the answer for how many is often a number, but the answer for how much is often a quantity. Like it has a lot, oh my God, too much sugar or a little coffee, for example, it's not exactly the number. Like we don't say 2 tea. Yeah, that is a number, but when we talk about how much, we don't say 2 milk, 2 tea, 2 coffee. We just say, I've got too much sugar, I've got a little tea, I've got a little coffee in my cup. So here's the difference between how many and how much. Can you give me some examples about when we ask about how many and how much?
How many the lemons
Yeah,
do you need?
yeah, how many?
And how many how many biscuits
Biscuits?
do you have?
How many biscuits do you have? And the answer for the question is?
I have 3 or
I have 3 or 4 or 5 or
yes.
100. That is the number. How about how much?
How much flowers do we need?
Sorry, how much what?
How much flour?
Flour? Bought me. You mean bought me? The flour.
Yes.
So I heard the flour is a kind of like flower like this. I heard this one, but you mean this one, right? We have this, yeah, both of these are pronounced flower. Okay, so I understand that. We have flower and flower, they're both the same. Okay. Yes, very good, because flower is uncountable now. Okay, now I move on to a lot of. A lot of just mean like many. Yes, a lot of means many. We use a lot of in affirmative sentences. For example, there are a lot of eggs. There are a lot of grapes, or there are a lot of oranges. And they can be both used in, plural countable noun, plural countable nouns or uncountable nouns. We can use both. Yeah, I have a lot of time. I have a lot of sugar. Yeah. So they can be both used in countable and uncountable nouns. That's it. And we use a lot of, much, and many in negative sentences. But we use much with uncountable nouns and many with countable nouns. For example, I don't have much time. I don't have much rice. There isn't much rice. And about many, like there aren't many eggs, there aren't many oranges. Okay, we use much for uncountable, and we use many for countable. That's it. You can see it very clearly in the example here. Much rice and many bananas. Rice is countable, it's uncountable now. And banana is countable now. So we use much for the uncountable and many for the countable. That's it. If you don't remember, you can write down in your notebook so that you can easily. You can study at home. Yeah, because we have a lot of things to remember. Yeah, it's easier for you when you write the examples.
Yes.
Yes, it's very easy to understand. Yeah, when we write the example, I can understand the structure and also, the grammar of this sentence. But much we go with uncountable, and many we will go with countable. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, let's move on to the next part. Quite easy. Underline the examples of how much, how many, much, many, and a lot of in this dialogue to see and find out the examples.
Uh, how many carrots are there?
Yes, how many carrots are there here?
Mm, mm. How much flour have we got?
How much flour have we got?
Mm,
So that is two. To example, how much and what do you say? How much flour and
how many carrots?
how many carrots are there? So that's two examples.
Mm. Uh, there isn't much sugar in the bowl.
Yes, there isn't much sugar, so we got much here in this sentence.
Yes. And we haven't got many eggs.
So many, okay, many eggs.
Mm.
Anything else?
There's a lot of sugar in the cupboard.
There's a lot of sugar in the cupboard. There's a lot of sugar in the cupboard. Okay, so we've got a lot of
Mm. 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 Is enough?
is enough. Okay, so we've got how much flour, how many carrots. There is much sugar. I've got many eggs and there's a lot of sugar. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 examples in this dialogue. It's quite easy to find.
Yes.
Okay. Now complete the questions with how much and how many. Do you need time to do this one or you just answer the question? Do you need time or do you just answer the question?
I answer the question now.
Okay, that's good. Okay. Number one.
How many students are there in class today?
Okay, how many students are there in class today? Can you tell me why you chose how many instead of how much?
Because student is um, plural countable nouns.
Yes, a students is a plural countable noun. So we use how many in this situation. So we got how many students are there in class today? Number two.
Two, how much time do you spend on homework every day?
Okay, can you explain why you choose how much?
Because time is uncountable nouns.
Yes, time is an uncountable noun. So we use how much time do you spend on homework every day? Yes, that's true. How about number 3?
Number 3 is how much money do you spend every week?
How much money do you spend every week? This one is also, the money is also an uncountable noun, right? So we use how much in this one. Okay, how about number 4?
Number 4, how many DVDs have you got?
How many DVDs have you bought? So DVDs are is a countable noun. So we use how many. Very easy. Number 5.
How much housework do you do every week?
How much? How much housework do you do every week? So housework, like housework and homework and time and money are the uncountable nouns. So we use how much for the uncountable noun. That's very good. For the first time doing this. Okay, now move on to the much, many, and a lot of. Now, can you underline the correct answers? And in each sentence, we've got 3 answers, and if sometimes 2 answers are possible, so you can, some sentences you can choose 2 answers because sometimes it is possible to choose 2 because we can use, like, for example, if number 1, many or bread, or many or a lot of, we can use both of them. You can underline many and a lot of. Yeah, that is one example, but I don't know what is true or not. Okay, do you need the time or just answer the question?
I need the time.
Okay, you need the time to think about the answer. So maybe 3 minutes for this task, and I'll check the answer later.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, finished?
Yes.
Now, the answer for number 1, what
Num
do you choose?
Number 1, we've got a lot of bread.
So we've got a lot of bread. Why do you choose a lot of?
Because this is affirmative and yes,
So this is affirmative sentences, and it is also, bread is also an uncountable noun. So we cannot use many for the uncountable nouns, and we cannot use much for the affirmative. Like we use much for most of the questions. Yeah. So we use a lot of for this one. So we've got a lot of bread. Okay, number 2, there aren't.
number 2, there aren't many books in my bag or a lot of.
Yes, that's right. There aren't many books, or there aren't a lot of books, because books here is the countable nouns, the plural countable nouns. Yeah, so we can choose many or a lot of for this one. That's right. Number 3, I've got.
I've got many and or a lot of friends.
So we often say I've got a lot of friends, or I've got many friends. Like, yeah, many can be here, but most of the time we use a lot of friends. Yeah, but many can, yeah, we can also use many. Like, I've got many friends, but most of the time use a lot of. Like, it's normal to use a lot of.
And number 4 is there isn't much or a lot of milk in food.
That's right. So we can use much or a lot of here in this situation, because milk is uncountable noun, and we can use much in the negative and the question, and a lot of in the negative also. So we can use both of them here. There isn't much milk in the fridge, or there isn't a lot of milk in the fridge. Yes, that's true. Number 5.
Okay. Number 5, I haven't got much or a lot of homework this week.
Yes, that's right. I haven't got much homework to do this week, or I haven't got a lot of homework. Here, most of the time we can use much for this situation, but we can use a lot of. We also can use a lot of, but much is more, common. Like, I haven't got much homework this year. Okay, number 6.
I need a lot of help with this exercise.
I need a lot of help with this exercise. We cannot use many, because help is uncountable, right? And much is is used in the negative and the question sentences. So a lot of here is the correct answer. Okay, that's it for much, many, and a lot of. I hope that you can easily use much, many, and a lot of in your writing exercise or your speaking daily life. Like which one we can use much, which one we can use many, and which one we can use a lot of. Okay. So in general, that is very good for the first time to do the much and many and a lot of. Now we're gonna move on to a little and a few. So actually, besides a little and a few, we also have a little and few. You know, a little and a few is we use a little with uncountable nouns, but we use a few with countable nouns. It's very clear for here. We've got a little butter, or we've got a little milk, we've got a little coffee, we've got a little tea, and about a few, there are a few students in the classroom. There are a few people in the classroom. There are a few eggs in the fridge. So a few will be used with countable nouns, and a little will be used with uncountable nouns. Now, I want to mention one more thing here is we also have got little and few. Remember, so little and few is different from a little and a few. So little and few, they are both they both means that they hardly don't have anything. Like for example, when we use little or few, means that it's just one, or it hardly doesn't have anything. So it is this one is the opposite meaning with much and many. Okay, so be careful with little few and a little and a few. They are different from each other. Okay. When we use a little here, like a little butter, means that they've got a little, they also got a little, but we use little means that they doesn't have any butter at all. Like very, 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 very little. like it little, like doesn't have it. So be careful when you use a little few and a little and a few. Okay, that is the thing that I want to mention here. Okay, now that is the the structure and the theory with a little and a few. Now we're gonna move on to do some exercise to practice a little and a few. Okay, so now with little few, you just be careful, but today we just learn about a little and a few. Okay. Still find an example of a little and an example of a few in this dialogue.
There's a little flower in the keyboard.
There's a little flower in the cupboard. This one is cupboard.
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 And there are a few carrots in the fridge.
Yes, there are a few carrots in the fridge. Can you give me more examples of a little and a few?
Okay.
Give me more example, like your example, not in this dialogue. Your example. Yeah.
There's there's a little cheese. There is a few uh, there's a few biscuits.
There's a little cheese and there's a few biscuits.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. But you know, there's a little cheese on the table, or I want you to make a longer sentence, like there's a little cheese on the table, there's a few biscuits in the box, like that. Yes, just make it longer for you to, you know, have a better in speaking skill, have better understanding of speaking skills. Yeah. So a little and a few, very easy. So well, let's do this one for just like 1 minute for this one.
Okay.
Okay. Number one.
There is a little time before the end of the lesson.
There's a little time before the end of the lesson. So why do you choose a little here?
Because time is the time is a countable noun.
Time is uncountable now. Uncountable.
Yes.
Yes. Number two.
I've got a few posters in my bedroom.
I've got a few posters in my bedroom, because posters is
countable nouns.
countable. Number three. Oh my god.
Number three, there are a few students in the gym.
There are a few students in the gym. Good. Number four.
Just a little.
Just a little. Because
pizza is the uncountable.
So pizza, we've got pizza, not pizza. Pizza.
Pizza.
Yeah, don't say pizza. Pizza is like Vietnamese.
Yeah.
Number five.
We need a few prawns for this side.
We need a few prawns for this recipe. This one, recipe.
Yeah. Recipe.
Yes, recipe. 3 syllables. It is not recite. It is a recipe. 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 Okay,
Recipe.
three syllables. Remember?
Yes.
A recipe. Do you know recipe is?
I don't know.
Okay, so recipe. When you don't know any words, just tell me and I will give you the Vietnamese word. Recipe is like the way to do something, the way to cook a dish, to cook a meal.
Okay.
Yes, okay. So that's it for a little and a few. Now we've moved on to the last one, the last exercise of this grammar lesson. So here, look at the picture and write 6 sentences about the picture here and remember to use a lot of, a few, a little, not much, and not many. And you're gonna write 3 true sentences and 3 false sentences. Okay? 3 sentences are true and 3 sentences are false. And remember to use this one.
Okay.
Okay. Now, maybe 5 minutes to do this one is enough?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now, can you tell me 3 sentences are true first?
There are a few tomatoes.
There are a few tomatoes on the table. Yes. So the first two sentences is there are a few tomatoes on the table. Yes, but because we have 3 tomatoes, so we can say there are a few.
And there's a little water at the glass.
There is what? A little
A little water.
There is a little water in the cup or in the glass. There's a little water in the glass. Yes, that's true. This one is true.
And there are a lot of there are a lot of burger.
Burger? Where's burger?
But
You mean sandwich?
butter.
Butter. Where's butter?
I think it's right.
You mean here?
Yes.
Oh, so this is butter? I thought it is tofu. Do you know tofu?
Yes, I know.
I thought it's tofu. So it is butter? Oh, yeah. If you think it is butter, so you mean there are a lot of butter? You think it is a lot of butter?
I think that.
I think it's just a little butter, like this one. You can say there are a lot of sandwiches on the table, or there are a lot of pizza on the table, or a lot of crisps or chips. Yeah, because butter is just this much. So we cannot say a lot of, we mean a lot of, like many. Okay, so maybe that one can be one of the 4 sentences. So you said there are a lot of butter on the table, so maybe it is false. So we can say it is one of the 3 false sentences. So one more for so can you say again one more for true?
There are many
Sandwiches on the table. Yes, that's true. Okay, 2 more for false.
There aren't many chips in the bowl.
There aren't many chips in the bowl. Yes, that is false because there are many chips. Okay, so one more for false.
There are a few strawberries.
There are a few strawberries. Yes, that's right, because there are many strawberries in the bowl, actually. So the false sentence would be there are a few strawberries. Yes, that's right. Okay, so finish with 3 false and 3 true. Yes? Yes, okay, so that's it for a few and a little, and also for much, many, and a lot for today. So I think our lesson is also coming to the end, And so today we just learned about how to use how much and how many, a lot of, much, many, and a little and a few. So this one is quite easy. So maybe you just practice at home, several exercise to be familiar with this kind of grammar. So that's it for today. See you next time, and remember to do your homework. Okay.
Okay.
So okay, see you. Bye.
See you next time.
Bye.